So now while you think I only do gaming content, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today I will be showing you the every last match of Brazil that they have played in an international match, which only for Copa America and World Cup. So the first ever Copa America according to Google was in 1916. So now, and the World Cup was invented in 1930, I believe, in Uruguay. Yeah. So now I will be showing you all the Copa America matches that Google can help me with. So it shows that Brazil had got third place. They had got they were like third in Copa America in 1916, in 1917, and then they were the winners of the Copa America in 1919. So then in 1920 it shows that Brazil had got third place yet again. In 1921 they got second place, and then in 1922 they won the Copa America. In 1923 Brazil had got fourth place. They withdrew from the tournament in 1924. So I'm guessing Brazil was second in the 1925 Copa America. Brazil withdrew from the tournament again in Copa America 1926. So in 1927 I guess Brazil got third or fourth, same for 1929 and 1935, and then in 1937 Brazil got second. Brazil third or fourth again in 1939 Copa America. So then in 1941, 1942, what is this? Bro, I hate these sites. So in 1941, 1942, Brazil got third or fourth. In 1945, 1946, Brazil got second. In 1947, Brazil got third or fourth. In 1949 Brazil won the Copa America. In 1953 Brazil got second, and then in 1955, 1956 they got either third or fourth. Then in 1957 and 1959 Brazil got second in the Copa America. And then in 1959, 1963, I'm surprised there was no World War interruption. 1960, back here. Then in 1963, 1967, 1975, and 1979 Copa Americas, Brazil got third, fourth, fifth, I guess. So I'm only gonna mention it if it's first or second. If they are not, Brazil is not first or second, then you know where they are, third, fourth, or fifth. So then in 1983 Brazil got second. Then in 1989 Brazil won the Copa America. In 1991 Brazil got second. In 1995 Brazil got second. Then in 1997 and 1999 Brazil got back-to-back Copa America. They won the Copa America twice. Then 2004 and 2007 again back-to-back they won the Copa America. And then in 1995 they got second. And in 1991 also they got second, and in 1993 also they got second, if I might have not mentioned that. Then blah blah, in 2019 Brazil won the Copa America, and then they got second in 2021. Now World Cup. So in 1930 Brazil only played 2 matches in the World Cup. So they beat Bolivia 4-0. Moderato and Preguino. I don't know any of the old players. But then when all the Balkan countries were united into Yugoslavia, Brazil lost to Yugoslavia in the group stages 2-1. So in the 1934 World Cup, the Google is not giving me enough information. They just lost to Spain in the round of 16 3-1. Okay. Then in 1938 they played a few matches where Brazil won 6-5 against Poland. Yo, deadly match. Yo, one of the Polish players and one of the Brazilian players made a hat-trick. Nice. Then Brazil drew Czech 1-1 in the quarterfinals, where both got red card. Then Brazil beat Czech in the quarterfinals. 2 days later, Then in the semis, they got knocked out by Italy 2-1. And then for the third place playoff, they beat Sweden 4-2. Okay, they actually played a bit in the 1938 World Cup. So then in the 1950 World Cup, Brazil beat Mexico 4-0 and drew Switzerland 2-2. Then they beat Yugoslavia 2-0 and then they beat Sweden 7-1. And then they beat Spain 6-1, but then lost to Uruguay 2-1. Then in 1954, why does Google not give me proper results? They beat Mexico 5-0, drew Yugoslavia 1-1, but then lost to Hungary 4-2. Both had a red card. Both the countries had a red card. Bro, was Yugoslavia like their rivals back then? Then in the 1958 World Cup, they beat Austria 3-0. They drew England 0-0. Then they beat the Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine into a Soviet Union 2-0. Then they beat Wales in the quarterfinals 1-0. They beat France in the semi-finals 5-2. And then in the final, they beat Sweden 5-2. Wait, they won the World Cup that year. Wait, was Pele here? Yep. Oh, Pele was here. That's why they won the World Cup. Then in the 1962 World Cup, Brazil beat Mexico 2-0, drew Czech 0-0, then beat Spain 2-1, then in the quarterfinals beat England 3-1, then in the semi-finals both countries got a red card, but Brazil beat Chile 4-2, and in the final they won back-to-back World Cups, and then they won it. In 1962, they beat Czech 3-1. Oh, Pele did not score. I think he might have assisted, who knows. So in the 1966 World Cup, they only played in the group stages, where they beat Bulgaria 2-0, they lost to Hungary 3-1, and then lost to Cristiano Ronaldo's great-grandfather in Portugal 3-1. But I don't think his great-grandfather might have played for Portugal. In the 1970 World Cup, Brazil beat Czech in the group stages 4-1, beat England 1-0, beat Romania 3-2, then in the quarterfinals beat Peru 4-2, in the semis they beat Uruguay 3-1, and then in the final they beat 4-1 and then won their World Cup. And Pele became the only ever player to win 3 World Cups. And of course Pele scored. So in the 1974 World Cup, Brazil drew Yugoslavia 0-0, drew Scotland 0-0, then beat Zaire, how you pronounce that, 3-0. Then beat East Germany 1-0. Well, that's when Germany was split into half, East and West. One communist, one democracy, whatever. World War II, Germany crashed. Brazil beat Argentina 2-1, and then but the Dutch beat Brazil 2-0 after Brazil made a red card, or before Brazil made a red card, who knows. And then in the third place playoff, Poland beat Brazil 1-0. So then in the 1978 World Cup, Brazil drew Sweden 1-1, drew Spain 0-0, beat Austria 1-0, beat Peru 3-0, drew Argentina 0-0, beat Poland 3-1, and then in the third place playoff, they beat Italy 2-1. So then in the 1982 World Cup, they beat Soviet Union 2-1, they beat Scotland 4-1, they beat New Zealand 4-0, but then they lost to Argentina. No, I said lost, oh my god. Argentina made a red card and they lost to Brazil 1-3, but then Italy beat Brazil 3-2. In the 1986 World Cup, Brazil beat Spain 1-0, they beat Algeria 1-0, they beat Northern Ireland 3-0. Northern Ireland is a part of United Kingdom, but it's split, like Northern Ireland is a separate country in FIFA World Cup, Wales, England, etc. So then Brazil beat Poland 4-0, then in the round of 16, and then in the quarterfinals, Brazil drew France 1-1, but then lost on penalties 3-4. And Argentina won the World Cup that year, I think. So in the 1990 World Cup, Brazil beat Sweden 2-1. They beat Costa Rica 1-0. They won against Scotland 1-0, but then they lost to Argentina 1-0, I think. Yeah, they lost to Argentina 1-0. So now Soviet Union became Russia and then other countries. So Brazil beat Russia 2-0. Brazil beat Cameroon 3-0. This is 1994 World Cup. Brazil drew Sweden 1-1. Brazil beat the United States of America 1-0. Then in the quarterfinals they beat Netherlands 3-2. In the semi-finals they beat Sweden 1-0. In the finals they drew Italy 0-0 but then won on penalties 3-2. And then Brazil, this is like Brazil's 4th World Cup. So then what is this? In the 1998 World Cup, Brazil beat Scotland 2-1, beat Morocco 3-0, then lost to Norway 2-1, then beat Chile in the round of 16 4-1, beat Denmark in the quarterfinals 3-2, drew Netherlands in the semis 1-1, but then beat them on penalties 4-2. Then in the finals they lost to France 3-0. I guess Zinedine Zidane cooked. A new decade, a new century, a new millennium, whatever. Brazil beat Turkey 2-1. Brazil beat China. China got into the World Cup. Wow. Brazil beat China 4-0. Brazil beat Costa Rica 5-2. Brazil in the round of 16. Brazil beat Belgium 2-0. In the quarterfinals, Brazil beat England 2-1. In the semis, Brazil faced Turkey again and then won 1-0. And then in the finals, they beat Germany 2-0. And I guess Ronaldo Nazario won his 2nd World Cup. And this was Brazil's 5th World Cup. So in the 2006 World Cup, Brazil beat Croatia 1-0, beat Australia 2-0, beat Japan 4-1, beat Ghana 3-0, but then in the round of 16, and then in the quarterfinals lost to France 1-0. So the 2010 World Cup was kind of funny since North Korea actually made it to the World Cup, and then but they lost to Brazil 2-1. I'll probably make a story on this another day. Brazil beat North Korea in the 2010 World Cup 2-1. They beat Ivory Coast 3-1. They drew young Cristiano Ronaldo and young Pepe 0-0. I don't think they were that young. They were like 20-25. Brazil beat Chile 3-0 in the round of 16, but then in the quarterfinals they lost to Netherlands 2-1. Well, the 2014 World Cup was probably the most embarrassing World Cup for Brazil, as they beat South Africa 5-0 and Panama 4-0 and Serbia 1-0 and Croatia 3-1, and they drew Mexico 0-0 and they beat Cameroon 4-1. In the round of 16 they drew Chile 1-1, but then they won on penalties 3-2. In the quarterfinals they beat Colombia 2-1, but in the semi-finals they got crushed by prime Germany 7-1. Toni Kroos, and then Germany went on to win the World Cup that year. And then in the third place playoff they beat Netherlands beat them 3-0, but then they beat Colombia 1-0. They beat Ecuador 1-0. They beat Argentina 2-0. They beat Japan 4-0. They beat Turkey they played that many matches. They beat Austria 2-1. They beat France 3-1. They beat Chile 1-0. They beat Mexico. Oh no, wait, this is all Copa America. Oh my god. Yeah, the third place playoff 3. Netherlands beat 3-0. Yeah, this is all the Copa Americas. Group stage, quarters. They beat Paraguay beat them in the quarters in Copa America 2015, and then Chile went to win the World Cup. Oh my god, Copa America that year, I think. Brazil drew Switzerland 1-1 in the group stages. 2-0 Costa Rica. They beat Serbia also 2-0 and Mexico 2-0, but then in the quarterfinals they lost to Belgium 2-1. Then in the previous World Cup, which was held in Qatar in 2022, Brazil beat Serbia 2-0, Switzerland 1-0, but Cameroon beat Brazil 1-0. Brazil beat South Korea 4-1. And then in the round of 16, but then in the quarterfinals they drew Croatia 1-1, but then lost to Luka Modric and I think Rakitic's Croatia 4-2. And I guess Brazil in this entire century, they won 5 World Cups and 9 Copa Americas. And that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.